Welcome to Copilot Studio User Group. So this month we have an external speaker who will be speaking in this event. So his name is Vishnuprasad. So I'm gonna introduce him a bit later. But before than that, I would like to go through some of the housekeeping. Session recording. So this session is currently recorded. If you do not consent to being part of this recording, you can please exit this event. Recordings will be made available in the YouTube channel PowerTech Spec and Power Brews. Now, just to give you an introduction about the event host. So myself, Girish Uppal, I'm from Brisbane, Australia. I'm a Microsoft MVP of a business application. I'm a Power Up program volunteer. I do a lot of work in the Power Platform space. Along with me is joined by Nehal Shah. She's from Brisbane. She is also a business application. You might have seen many presentation done by her in terms of Power Apps, Copilot Studio, uh, and Power Automate. She also specializes in Power Apps, Power Pages. She's also a user group leader, and we both host this event. Now, before we go with the external presenter, I would like to give you some brief about the recent update which is happening in the Copilot Studio space. Now, in the last 1 month, we have seen a lot of changes coming in the Copilot Studio ecosystem in terms of UI, in terms of functionality, in terms of orchestration engine, in terms of administration, the governance, the observability. So those kind of things, we have seen a lot of changes which has hit the market. Now, workflows. So workflows now in the workflow, you can invoke agent as a workflow step with the agent node. So that is one of the highlight which I would like to present. Now over here, what happens is you can independently build a workflow in Copilot Studio and you can call an agent. Now you can call an existing agent, which is built using Copilot Studio, or you can create an agent on the fly and then call that agent. Along with that, you will be able to call Microsoft 365 agent as well. So if you have created an agent using M365 Copilot, using the Microsoft 365 Copilot window, which is like, I'll call it as an agent builder light, then you will be able to uh, invoke that particular agent as well. There are a couple of other things, advanced connector policies. So basically, it's a governance framework designed to control connector usage across apps, flows, and agents. Now, remember in Power Platform, if you want to secure a connector, we used to make use of a DLP, so data loss prevention policy. So data loss prevention policy basically restricts the usage of connectors in your Power Platform based application. Now, there is a new concept, advanced connector policy, which is like much more streamlined, much more flexible. And this governance framework is again designed to control connector usage, but in a better way. You can use currently both the data policy as well as ACP, but I think over a period of time, we would be directly switching to ACP. Copilot credit usage consumption report. Yesterday, I found that you can actually track your Copilot credit usage within Power Platform Admin Center. So Microsoft gives you a lot of information in terms of how did you use your credits, how did who used it, when it was used, at which place it got used. So those kind of things can be also uh, extracted through this report. Computer use tool, as you all know, this is GA. It's a tool that allows AI agents to interact with and automate tasks on Windows computer. So if you have an application which is legacy or which runs on a desktop or which is like operating system dependent, like basically Windows desktop application, and if that application does not have any connector, you can use CUA, computer use tool, to basically connect to an agent. Other things which I've saw in the new interface is work IQ. Now you can add a work IQ to your agent. Work IQ is basically a workplace intelligent layer that enables the agents to access and reason over organizational data like your email, like your files, like anything which you interact with within your organization. So you can take that as a context and then present it to an agent for processing. Now, this is the next session, building IT help desk with Copilot Studio. But before I hand it over to the speaker, I would like to first demonstrate some of the things which I just showed you. So I'm in Power Platform Admin Center over here. Now, if I navigate to licensing under Copilot Studio, here you can view the summary of the licenses. So you can manage the billing plan, you can manage Copilot credit, manage the session, manage the agent, and you can even download the report. If I scroll down, you can see over here, this is the capacity currently allocated in my tenant. So I purchased 25,000 credits and I have assigned 15,500 and consumed 533. So it gives me the detailed breakdown on how much I purchased, how much is assigned to the environment, and how much has been consumed. Now, 533 is a big number. Now, if you want to know more detail about it, you can go further down and you can see when it was consumed. So as you see over here, in 1st July, you consumed 160, and in on 2nd July, 373. Now, if you want to know more who used it, here you will see, like, as I am the only user in the tenant, I have consumed all the 534 credits. Now, the agent which has consumed this, so you can click on view all agents, and here you will come to know exactly how many agents have used this credit. Now, as you see over here, these are the list. So that is extract VC, read from visiting card, international sports agent, and then this is another agent. If I expand it over here, I will be able to see exactly which agent action, like billable feature it is coming through. So it is coming through an agent action, it is coming through a classic answer. So an individual credit details it will show you, and how many credits have been billed, and what all commands may have been utilized while consuming this credit. So like bash, glob, view, respond, etc. So you will get a detailed breakdown of all the consumed items. Also, a couple of things. First thing, this is the new interface for Copilot Studio. Here you will see a welcome screen, and here you can create an agent, you can create a workflow. Now, over here, you have an option to switch between the old and the new experience. Here you have an environment selector. Now, this is an important thing, session details. Now in session details, you can see more information. Earlier, there were just few of those, but now Microsoft has listened to people's feedback, and then they have introduced more parameters which you can use within your application. So there are some more info. Now, first thing, what I think you guys should do is like click on send feedback and provide information to Microsoft if you find anything which is not working or anything which has a flaw in it, or maybe just provide any good feedback, like if you like the UI, if you don't like the UI, if you like the workflow or application or those kind of things. Here you can provide feedback to Microsoft. There's another change which I have seen over here, Agent Ops. Now, Agent Ops is part of the Copilot Studio. So Agent Ops, I've just clicked on it, let it load. I'll come to this Agent Ops. It is basically part of the evaluation. So if you build an agent and now you want to evaluate like how this agent works based on various prompts which you type. So this is the place through which you can create or view the basic inventory. You can see test method, pass rate, evaluation, coverage, credit used, those kind of things. So you can see all this information over here. Now, if I go into this interface, I can see chats. So here you can also see all the past conversation that are retained for like last 24 hours. So you can see all the chat which you have initiated while building an agent. So you can ask Copilot Studio to build an agent for you through this prompt. Agents interface, there are some notable changes. You can see this icon. With this icon, you can update, you can delete, and for some, you can even publish as well. So directly from this interface, you can click on publish, and then you can directly publish this to a specific channel. Like this was previously published to M365 Copilot. So maybe I can go ahead and publish it to M365 Copilot. Also, if I click on new agent over here, now I can see Microsoft IQ, which was there previously. But if I click on plus, I can see another items, which is work IQ. Now I can use work IQ within my agent to connect this agent to organizational artifacts like emails, chats, files, and activity to deliver more relevant work context. So it's just a matter of turning this on and work IQ will be connected. Now, remember, What technically it does in the backend is when this is enabled, this feature adds Work IQ Copilot MCP and Work IQ User MCP to your agent. This is same as if you click on Tools, go to MCP, and if you just search for the word IQ, you can see a whole bunch of IQ which you can add, like the Azure Foundry IQ, Fabric IQ Ontology, Work IQ Calendar, Work IQ Copilot MCP, Work IQ Mail, Work IQ OneDrive, SharePoint, Teams, and other. So you can individually add these kind of MCPs. So I just click on Work IQ Mail MCP. You click on Not Connected, click on Create New Connection, and then once that connection is established, you can add those IQs. In the model, we had two model type, one from OpenAI, second from Anthropic. So Anthropic models, Cloud Sonnet, Cloud Opus, and for OpenAI, we have this GPT models. If I scroll down, I can see Mistral models as well. Now, this doesn't appear automatically. You may have to turn some feature on. Now, for that, what you need to do is like you need to go into M365 Admin Center, and there are various settings like Copilot settings. From here, you click on View All, and there are a couple of settings which you need to turn on. Now, these are the three settings: AI models in preview, AI provider for other language models, and AI provider operating as Microsoft sub-processor. So if I click on AI models in preview, all the Anthropic models will be enabled. Now, I have already enabled it. That's why I can see Anthropic models in Copilot Studio. Next, if I go to AI provider for other large language model, this was disabled. Now I enabled it in M365 Admin Center. That's why I can see the Mistral model. Now, what I did is I just want this model to be available for me. So I can select a specific user and a group through which this model should be available. So if Alex logs in Copilot Studio, Alex will not be able to see the Mistral model. Now, there are other notable changes which has come in Copilot Studio is you can connect, you can see the connected agents, you can turn on the memory, you can write an instruction with different format, plus you can add skills, you can upload a skill or you can create it from blank. So that adds that additional capability. Workflows. So you will see a whole bunch of new functionality within the workflow. So if I click on new workflow in the new experience, you will see a trigger. You can select manual recurrence connector or when an agent calls the flow. So you can change the trigger depending on your need. And from here, you automatically get this output like respond to the agent, because when an agent calls the flow, we need to send the signal back. In between, we can perform various operations. The operation can be, it can be a function. You can select various data operation functions. So let's assume if I just say on compose, maybe I'll just put some value over here, and then I can go ahead and connect this. So this is all seamless. I can switch to vertical layout, horizontal layout, or a free form layout. Also, the advantage over here is like I can call another agent. So if I drag and drop this agent, I can call another agent. And this agent I can select from here. I can select all the Copilot Studio agent which I have created, or maybe I can just create an agent on the fly by providing instruction. Other thing which you can do is like instead of Copilot Studio agent, if I have an agent which was built using M365 Copilot, I can drag and drop this and I can specify the message, what would I want this Copilot to do, or maybe I can select this agent, and then from here, I'll be able to select the value of that agent. So multiple pathways through which you can create your workflow and call different items. So I think I'll not go in much depth with this. I would like to hand it over to the new speaker, Vishnuprasad. So Vishnuprasad, would you please introduce yourself and also you share your screen so that we can see the demo help desk with Copilot Studio. Over to you, Vishnu.
Sorry, I was in mute.
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yeah. Hey everyone. My name is Vish. I'm from Singapore. I'm working on Microsoft 365 technologies. Today I will be giving a brief of Copilot Studio agent for helpdesk scenario. Before going into this helpdesk, let me share like how quickly we can create agent in SharePoint. Like let's say like we have a document library with lot of knowledge based articles like help desk articles or like SOP or finance policy or something. So if we need only information about the documentation, we don't need to go to the Copilot Studio to create a complex agent. All we can do is, this is my document library where I have some help desk articles uploaded to this document library. So we can just go here, Copilot create agent. We can name the agent, and then we can, the source will be automatically selected with this particular document library. If we want, we can have additional libraries as well. Then once selected, we can create agent. So in this case, I have already created the agent for this document library. So here, like setup MFA. So I'm just asking this. So it will give like the information on how to set up the MFA based on the document we have uploaded. So this is how fast we can create a quick agent if we already have a knowledge base in our SharePoint, because most of the organization, they might be having the SOP and policy already defined in the SharePoint document library. So we can quickly leverage this functionality to develop a quick agent for this FAQ kind of use cases. So the problem here is like we have the information, somebody can search, it will give the input. If there is no information related to the search query, it won't return any result, and we cannot escalate to the human or message, post a message in the Teams. So that's where the Copilot Studio will come into picture. So this is a sample I have built. It's not fully production ready, but it has got the high level features of a typical help desk agent. So what we have done in this help desk agents is it can quickly answer the query, which is like I showed you in the SharePoint knowledge management. So it can give a query based on the questions asked, and if the answer is there in the knowledge library, it will reply. And it can also create a ticket, and the team can see all the tickets created. So this is what it is covered in the help desk agent. So the what this help desk agent can do is it can raise a ticket and request for software, and we can check status for the ticket which we have raised, and we can asset whatever we have been assigned to our asset. It can show the asset created for us, and we can also do the share the knowledge base for the queries which is already there in the FAQ or SOPs, and we can also escalate to the IT team, and the escalation will be sent to the team channel. So this is what this help desk agent will do. So here, like the agent is built in Copilot Studio, and we have various topics. The topics is nothing but like based on the intent, it can take necessary respective actions, like raising a ticket or sending a message to the teams or adding data to the database. That's where the topic, based on the intent, it can do some actions. And how we do the action is based on, not all the actions can be performed by the topics, so we need to leverage the Power Automate. So that's where like the Power Automate has been used here to create the ticket or inserting a data into the Dataverse table. So the conversation design in this help desk, like when we launch the agent, it will ask like raise IT ticket, check status, and search knowledge base and asset. So these are like few examples, like to ask the agent, like log a ticket, status of my ticket, and how do I set up VPN, for example. So these are a sample example. Like later, I will cover in my demo like how the agent works. So in the ticket creation flow, basically in the agent, it will ask the category to be chosen, like whether it's a hardware or software. Then it will ask for the priority. Once we select the priority, we need to describe the issue. So once the issue is described, the issue will be saved in the Dataverse, and it will also email and Teams notification, and the user will be seeing the ticket ID. And we can extend this agent currently, since it's a demo, like I didn't have the option to check for the ticket based on the ticket ID, but it can easily be extended, and I will be uploading this solution to my GitHub. So if anyone interested, they can download and extend with their use case as well. The knowledge source also, like we can, it's a different knowledge source. There is a separate topic. So when we select the topic, like we can ask the knowledge base to ask the repeated question, so that like I daily face this problem in my organization. We work for like multi agent department organization where like we'll be getting the same query every day. Like minimum, I get 2 or 3 queries on the same thing. So instead of we replying to each query via the ITSM or email, like this agent can really helpful for me to improve my productivity on answering the repeated question. And the ticket status is to check the ticket status. So the software approval is again the same. We have a different specific topic for the software request. So user requests the software and the reason, and it can send the email to the manager, and it can currently it is sent as a Teams notification as a adaptive card. So it can be further extended to have the approval using the Power Automate approval action, and all these actions are saved in the database. And I have built model driven app to view these tickets as well. And it's not necessary to have the model driven. We can also have the Canvas app to have the holistic view of the ticket priced, and the approval information will be sent in the Teams. So escalation trigger, like if we search query and all those things, like we don't have like, then there is an intent and topic created for escalation. And in this demo, I didn't have the automatic human hands off, like, but we can have the flow modified so that like if no result, it can automatically trigger escalation to the help desk. And I'll be doing that in few days and publish in my GitHub. If anyone interested, they can check out the. I will later give my GitHub information. So the dataverse, I have created the tables to store the IT tickets and asset allocation and the software request, and if, knowledge base. If we have the feedback, it can have this information also stored, so that in later, if we want to have a dashboard on how our agent performs, so we have all the artifacts stored in the database for further reporting and dashboard use cases. And a few things to take notice, like when we develop an agent, like ensure like we have the environment variable. And most important, let's say like if somebody want to download the agent from the GitHub and they want to use it in their tenant, so the solution by default will have the last exported connection reference. So the first thing when we import the solution is we need to ensure that the connector reference are all changed to our tenant, so that like it won't the agent won't break. So that's a thing, something we need to take care when we import this solution, or even when you develop your agent in your developer environment and moving to the production. So these are the key things we need to check on changing the connector reference. And one thing I noticed is there is no way that um, the knowledge source added is automatically. There is no option to edit based on my knowledge when I check the agent. Probably we may need to delete the knowledge source and create the new connection according to the tenant. And it's advisable not to use the hard-coded secret or any API key or any hard-coded information, so that like when we import into another tenant, it won't break. So that is something we need to plan and take care of it when we are importing and exporting the solutions. So how I built overall is I have designed the table in the database, Dataverse for the IT ticket and all the other artifacts. And I have created the topic. I created the main menu, like where it asks like what is the user is looking for, like raising a ticket or checking the ticket status or searching the knowledge base. And also the build the flow for lookup and approval routing and adaptive card posting is used by Power Automate Flow. And to do this, we need to connect the respective channel. Like if we don't connect the channel, like for example, Microsoft Teams, then we can't send the message to the Teams channel. So we need to ensure that the respective channels are added so that we can have those things in our topic to take appropriate flow decision. And test path is something like we need to validate the happy path, and we need to check, ensure that I can show you in the later stage. My current solution I didn't handle well on the callback. So sometime like when there is no answer, like the agent will stop. We need to restart the session. So that we need, when we are building any agent, we need to ensure that the fallback scenario is covered, so that like there is no, I mean, the user will not be standing without knowing like what to do next. So that is more important to handle in the topics on the fallback. So these are the demo I currently by the help desk agent is considered for. So when we initiate the session, we'll start. Then it will ask for the prompt. Later, in a while, I will show you the information. So currently, the area of improvement to this help desk is what worked is like I was able to post the team's adaptive card message and also email, and call the Power Automate flow successfully to do the business logic and the table data insertion, and Teams notification also working. What is not currently working is the file back scenario is not working well, so that needs to be enhanced. And the admin dashboard is currently missing. So with all the data saved in the Dataverse, we can leverage Power BI for dashboard based on the data we have saved. And that's it on the lesson learned on next steps. So now I'll just cover the demo. Okay. So like when we create an agent, like we need to name the agent in a meaningful way, and we can choose which model we want to use. Like there are like various options for the model to choose. I would choose the Cloud A as it was default, so I didn't change it later. And the instruction loading. So this is the key part. Like we need to provide the instruction for the agent what to perform. So we are putting here like you are an IT help desk agent for the Contessa government, and like the instruction like what the agent has to do, and also the knowledge. This is all the FAQ and other information is stored in this SharePoint document library. So this is what I was telling earlier, like the agent, it doesn't have an option to change. Let's say like I export this agent and import it to the another environment. This knowledge URL cannot be edited. So I would suggest delete the knowledge source and create the same name with the new SharePoint document library. Then it will work. So I have loaded all the documents in this document library, like help desk agent and new laptop setup. So I have shared like few scenarios here. That's where the knowledge will fetch from. And tool, I'm not using any tool here. Like for example, let's say like we split up this agent into the knowledge base as a separate agent, and asset as a separate agent. Then we can include these agent here as additional tool. Sorry, here add a agent. So we can split multiple agent, like instead of having all the agent in one single all the features in one single agent, we can split the agent into multiple agent, and then we can add a agent and we can communicate between the agents we have added. So the topics, so I created the separate topic based on each intent. Like for example, check ticket status. I created the topic. Then it will check the user logged in. So there is an option raise a new ticket. So when we put the check ticket status, it will show all the open ticket we have raised. And if this agent has to be enhanced, if we want by search by the ticket ID, that can be extended as well. So currently it will show all the ticket raised. And also after it provide the ticket detail, it will agent will say like option to the further option is that they have got all the information or they want to raise a new ticket. They can use the option raise a new ticket to raise. Later I will show you in the demo. So this is a check ticket status topic. And for similarly for asset, so I have created a topic for asset. So it can get, there is a flow to get my asset. This basically, the flow will get the data from the dataverse. When the agent calls, it gets the list of rows and check the condition for the asset ID and then respond to the agent. Once the response is sent to the agent, so we can see that in the chat, the test in a test window, the asset. If you want to create a new topic, let's say for like search ticket by ID, we can create a new topic and create a flow by passing the ticket ID to get the status of the ticket ID and respond back to the agent. So we can create a new topic from here and we can create from blank or we can leverage the Copilot to generate the topic for us. Then we can refine the topic. We don't need to start everything from the scratch. We can use the Copilot. So that's all on the topics. So let me test the agent here. I'll just create a new session because this session has been open for quite some time. At a new session. So when we start a new session, like in the topic on the start, I have given all these options. So we can create a ticket or check ticket status or search knowledge base. So in this case, I will just put search knowledge base. It is asking what would you like to help? How do I set up the VPN? Since I already logged in, I provide the consent. So in your case, when you're first initiating this agent, it will ask for the consent. So if as long as the logged in user have access to the respective data store like Dataverse or SharePoint document library, they can only fetch where they have access to it. So it's very important when we develop an agent, we need to check the Copilot readiness for a SharePoint site or a Dataverse table and give appropriate permission. We should ensure that we are not giving over permission. So that's very important to take note when we are developing an agent. So in this, okay, now back to the demo. Like I asked for the query, how do I set up VPN? So the agent gets from my knowledge base and it will also mention where this document information is fetched from. So these are the two references which I have stored in my SharePoint. So it will also have those reference. Let me ask like something which is not there. How do I do API integration using APIM? So my failback is not handled properly. That's why like it is showing the menu. So I'll be doing this cleanup and update in the GitHub in the coming days. Asking another question. How If you notice this, like this is a feedback. I mean, this is a negative scenario to test. So this prompt, I didn't have any information in my knowledge source, but still the agent was getting. So it is actually getting from the internet, and this reference is wrong. So we need to handle properly on the setting on the generative answer setting to ensure that it is only showing the data based on the source we have, not from the internet. That's all on the search knowledge source. Now, like to raise a ticket, they can use this option. So when we click raise a ticket, in my topic, I have given the option like what they need to use. So it is asking like what type of issue they are facing. So the software, whether what is the urgency of this particular request. So I'm just putting low. We need to describe the issue. We need issue license for having architecture diagram for project. It doesn't have a, since we use the option raise a ticket, it knows that we are going to raise a ticket. So it will call the flow, which will create a ticket. So TKT 10006 is a ticket it is created. And it will also send email. So TKT 1006. And this is the adaptive code. I use it for a sample, and these claim ticket view in Dataverse reassign is not actually having a proper linkage. So when we develop the adaptive card, we need to design based on our need what kind of action we can put. If we don't want them to do any action, we can just remove the buttons and we can just put the adaptive card. So the user will be notified on the ticket. So it will also send email. Yeah. Next is check ticket status. It will show all the ticket for the user. So when I check again, this is based on the Power Automate. So the agent will call check. The Copilot Studio is bit laggy, so you can see it is the debugging panel is taking quite a bit delay. So when I click the check ticket status, so it will be calling the Power Automate input like the user logged in, then the flow. It's not opening. So this flow basically gets the data from the Dataverse on the list of ticket logged in by the user. So it gives here. That's all. Then if you want, so in this case, like the one of the mistake I have done is like in the end topic, I didn't handle it properly. So there should be a topic to create a new session automatically. So we may need to create from this fallback scenario, we need to call the start over so that it will ask the menu. So we don't need to do the topic from the scratch. We can use the start over. So in the failback, we can call the start over topic to show us the options. So when we click, currently only one asset has been created for me. So it will show when I click my asset, it will be calling the topic called my asset. And the my asset, it takes the logged in user email, then it calls the flow. The flow is basically gets the data from Dataverse. Just to use different component, I use Dataverse. It is not necessarily we need to use Dataverse. We can also use SharePoint list. Um, so that like we don't need to have a Power Automate premium license. But in this case, the Power Copilot is already there. Like if it depends on the organization need, like they can leverage Dataverse or List. So both will work fine. It should not be an issue. This is the flow it creates. Another thing is like when we do all these things, so we at one stage we may need to know like how our agent is uh, performing. So for that, like in the analytics, it can show how the agent has been performed and how was the sentiment and who called. So in this page, it will show once the converse. Okay, just so one more tip. The conversation statistics will be saved to the respective. Later, I will show which table. So it will be saved in the Dataverse table only after the conversation ends. So it will not. It is not real time like where whatever the query we are raised. In the agent, it is not in real time updated in the Dataverse table. So all the information will be saved in the Dataverse table once the session ends. So if we want to have the statistics for this particular agent, we can use this analytics page to see how the agent is performing. And let's say like if our organization is having more than one agent, then just additional tip, you can in the database table, there is a conversation script, if I'm not wrong, the table name, which will be having all the agent transcription so that we can have a dashboard built for all the agents we have in our organization. Let me show you. Here. So this is the table I was referring, the conversation transcript, which will be having all the agent analytics stored here. So as so I created this environment for demo purpose today, so that's why it is not having. Once the session end, it will show all the information here along with the agent name, which we can use it to have a central dashboard if we have more than one agent in the organization and we want to have analytics. So this additional thing I would like to share. And so far, like I have given the demo in the Copilot Studio test agent. So this is only for the person who is developing the agent. Like for end user, we need to publish. So ensure that if we do any changes, ensure to check this box so that all the new changes will be published. We can publish, and it will also show any warning. So we can go and fix the warning. Once we published, we can go to the channels. So this is now published. Then we can publish this channel, sorry, publish this agent to the Microsoft Teams. So let's wait. Currently, there are some credential issues which we need to fix the flow. So we can choose Microsoft Teams. We need to fix the issue. So once we fix the issue, it will be the agent will be available. Then we can edit details, and there is an option called availability option. If let's say like we build the agent and we don't want the agent to be deployed to the whole organization, we want to do the pilot group, then we can create a pilot group, and availability option can be used to set like which user group can be access this agent, so that we can get the initial feedback and tweak the agent based on the feedback received from the pilot group. So that is something we can do. Can, oh sorry, I think I didn't enable the channel. So we can choose who it is, then we can download this zip. Like once we have this agent, if we want all the users to see this agent from the Teams App Store, which is from here, if they want to choose. So already what we need to do is we need to upload this agent into the Teams Admin Center under the Teams app. So once we add the app and we set the availability to the whole organization, or to the specific user group, we can do that control in the Teams channel. Can if this download option is applicable, like if we want users to use from the Teams, and we can also copy this link, and we can go to the channel and post. So when we post this link to the Teams channel, it will automatically deploy this to this team. Then we can add, and once we add, this agent will be available in the respective channel. It cannot be available in other channels. If we want all the users, then we need to download a zip and upload the. So we can also search from here. Like we can raise a ticket also, and this is only the other use. I mean, only the users who are in the Teams channel can access. If it is for organization, then we need to go to the Teams admin center, download as a zip and upload in the Teams admin center and set the availability. Then it can show in the Teams app. Under this option, they can use and use the agent from here. If we want to change the icon or the color, we can change here, and we can also have the description, so that these description will be shown when they search for app in the Teams. And other permission as well, like who can add this agent and the developer name. So the agent, whatever the ticket created, so this is a sample model driven app. This is the one we created today. And all the agent log, I create the table, but we can extend this solution to capture all the logs and store it into the Dataverse so that we can use this app. Currently one asset created, so that's where it is going. Currently the solution is stored only the IT tickets, and we can use the same reference and store all the other software requests as well. This is the Dataverse table model driven app which connected to the Dataverse table. Okay. Okay. Then after we develop this, like now we need to export and let's say we develop from the developer environment and we want to install in the production or staging environment. So we need to go to the list of agents. So this is the agent. Export agent. Sorry, my network is so slow today. Here we can export this solution, or we can create a new solution and add the agent. The version is, if we want to maintain version, we can put the. So this is a fresh solution, so we need to add the agent. I'm just adding this. So once we add the agent, it knows all the dependencies. So if you see here, the check status, all the Power Automate, Cloud Flow, all the connection reference, and the agent as well, then the knowledge source, everything is been topics, all the topics, everything has been included here. Then we need to publish. It's published now. Then we can export the solution. So here, like when we develop in our developer environment and move it to production, we need to ensure that it will all find out if any missing connection. So we add this to solution. So here it's very important to choose managed versus unmanaged. If we are shipping this agent to the production, it is always better to select as managed environment so that like accidentally no one can change the flow or delete the table or something. So it's better to have the managed managed solution so that nothing can be tampered by unknowingly. And if we are importing and exporting to the another developer environment or staging where we need to do some modification, then we need to choose unmanaged so that when we import we can edit. So after we export, it will be created as a zip file which we can export with choosing the agent.
Hey Vishnu, just a time check. Like we have a couple
Yeah, yeah,
more
yeah,
minutes
yeah,
remaining.
yeah, yeah. It's almost done. Yeah.
So,
So we can select the agent, and then we can import the agent. And once when I import, it was failing keep on in the modern interface. I don't know why. I still need to get the conclusion on that. So in case if you when you importing, if you're finding issues, then we can switch to the classic mode in the Power Platform. Then we can import. It should be importing without any issues. Just in case if anybody face issue on importing the solution. So that's all on the help desk agent, and I will be publishing the solution. Girish, you will be publishing this link in your YouTube as also, right?
that's right. We will do that.
Yeah. So later, Girish, when the video is published in YouTube, there will be a link to the GitHub. Yes, if not, like I'll be uploading this solution. No need to search my repository. Like I will just put it in the homepage. Link to the
Yes, so you can share the link and I will
yeah
publish it to the
yeah.
audience here.
So no need
Yeah,
to check on
we'll
my yeah. That's all. Like sorry, I think you can't see the screen. I'm on different screen. Okay. So in the GitHub, it's like WR Wish. So I'll be updating my homepage with this help desk agent. These are like mini agent, which doesn't have much topic and Power Automate and Dataverse integration. So I'll be uploading and pin in the homepage. So in case anyone want to download, they can download from here, or Girish will upload in the YouTube as well. That's all. Thanks. Thanks.
thanks, Vishnu. It was a great session. And thanks everyone for joining today. Before we head off, I just wanted to let you all know that our next event is on 22nd July, and I have dropped link for registration in the chat box. And you can also join our Copilot Studio user group for in between session updates. And we also put recording on discussion board of the user group, so you can always access from there. And we will be also dropping recording on Girish and my YouTube channel. So that's that. And yeah, I think that's all for today. I will see you in next one. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.